Welcome into FIU Football Weekly. Panthers coming off a 42-35 loss to Middle Tennessee, a game that was hard fought. Coach Ron Cooper, people always look at the final 2 minutes of a game that close, and I don't think that's fair. I thought that maybe the first 6 minutes was kind of set the tempo for that game. Your thoughts on that?
There's no doubt. They went ahead 21-0, and they had a big first half first quarter, and scored. And as a total football team after the game, guys, I'm so proud of you. A lot of times the team would have laid down, and there's no telling what the score would have been. But they fought back, and we made it a game. If you would have said when we were down 21-0 that if you get traded and with 2 minutes to go left in the game, we'd be tied up with the ball with a chance to win, it would have taken that trade.
Yeah, and not only that, the 21 is like, it was like a left hook. It just hit you, and you're like, okay, what now? But credit to your guys, they adjusted, especially defensively. One stat that stood out to me when we were doing the game on radio was the first three drives, Middle got a total of 209 yards in those three drives. Rest of the game, 256, and this is with 9 minutes left in the first quarter. Yeah,
we made some adjustments. The guys got used to the speed that Middle was playing with. The quarterback was very accurate. They went a little hurry, and they got on the board quickly. But the guys made the adjustments. We made the adjustment on defense, and they played okay the second half.
What do you think was with the offense the first three drives that they couldn't get much going there?
Well, I think we always start off a little bit tentative. I think you get started when an offense comes down the field like Middle did and scored in 4 plays. And we got, stalled the first time, and the next time they go on the field is 14-0. But, once we talked and we got everybody settled down, we talked about just doing our game, playing it one play at a time. We felt like our offense could continue to move the ball. Let's move the ball. I told them we were going to treat it as 4 downs. Once we crossed the 50-yard line, we were going forward and to score points. With a potent offense such one like Middle has, you've got to be able to put points on the board.
Yeah, and I think one good thing, or one of several good things that came out of this game was the running game got going again, 203 yards on the ground. What do you think was the success for that?
Well, the passing game will open up the running game, and vice versa. The running game opens up the passing game. We ran it well. Our offensive line blocked. Our receivers and tight ends blocked unbelievable on the perimeter. And, of course, our 2 running backs ran the ball hard. Alex had to pull the ball on a couple of read zone plays and ran well, too. So it worked for us. We got back in the game. As you said, one play that happened at the end, the turnover doesn't win and lose it. We lost as a team.
Yeah, and Magoo has shown that he can run. You wouldn't think it, but, he's shown from the Charlotte game to this game that he can move around.
Yeah, very tough young man. Helped our offense control the ball. We kept the ball 39 out of 60 minutes.
Yeah.
Controlled the ball. He ran it when he needed to. He threw it when he had to, and did some good things.
Yeah, you look at some of those numbers, and you're like, just looking at the stats, you're like, oh, FIU probably won the game. Middle was 2 of 8 on third down. You guys were 6 of 16. You held the ball 2 times the amount that they had it. But again, that the slow start did you in. And now, turning our attention to next week, the gauntlet continues. I think, arguably, these are the 3 best teams in Conference USA that you are going to see in this 3-week span. La Tech, Middle Tennessee, and now going up to Western Kentucky. Your early thoughts on the Hilltoppers?
Well, no doubt. They're another potent offense. They're a very aggressive defense. Their defense can play with anybody, and they've shown it. Their offense, Mike White, quarterback, I've known him for the last 3 years.
Local guy, went to, I think he's from Fort Lauderdale, went to South Florida.
Yep, he very accurate. He runs their offense well. They got weapons around him. So there's another potent offense we've got to face, but we'll have a good game plan set for them.
And I imagine, I don't imagine, I'm pretty sure that you want to get that running game going again because, not only control the clock, but you want to limit those possessions from that type of offense.
Yeah, definitely. I don't know if it'll be a go for it on 4th down this week as much because they'll be ready for it. And if we have to, we'll use it. But yeah, we've got to control the ball, and we've got to run the time down on the clock, keep it out of our offensive hands at the same time, make 1 first down at a time, and score some points.
Going back to that just for a second, your thought process behind going forward on 4th down against Middle.
Well, we decided when we got close to the 50, we'd go. I think the first time we did it, we were backed up and.
That was in your own territory.
Yeah, but you got to do that sometimes, and when you give your offensive coaches a chance to say, hey, look, you've got 4 downs to get these 10 yards, it makes the play calling, excuse me, a little bit different.
Against Western, one final thing with them, a couple final things. Their run defense seems to be their strength. They're only allowing about 100 yards per game on the ground.
Yeah, and probably the biggest thing with that is they've been ahead in so many games, especially some conference games where the other team becomes one-dimensional trying to throw it more. But they're a stout group up front. They'll play a lot up front. They'll play a little even. They're very good up front. They're fast at linebackers. Their secondary does a good job of keeping things in front of them. But we'll have a good game plan set for them, and we've got to be able to control the clock and run the football.
And part of that game plan, I'm sure you already saw the numbers. First quarter scoring, Western Kentucky 92, their opponents 37. So they seem like fast starters as well.
Yeah, they've got a potent offense, and Coach Braum does a great job with it, and we've got our work cut out for us.
That's Coach Ron Cooper. We'll step aside for a moment and come back with center Michael Montero.
Sportsmanship is an important tradition for Conference USA members.
It means being a role model for the next generation.
Giving it everything you got.
But always respecting your competition.
Supporting your teammates, no matter what the situation is.
And representing your school and team with grace and dignity. In the classroom,
On the field.
In the community.
and wherever life takes you. Show your CUSA pride all day through good sportsmanship.
Welcome back to FIU Football Weekly. Michael Montero joins me this week, the FIU center, a veteran of this show. You were on it last year.
Yes, sir.
You guys coming off a 42-35 loss to Middle Tennessee. A lot of people are going to look back at the last couple of minutes of that game. Magoo throwing the interception and Gardner fumbling. But I think the game was decided in the first 6 minutes when Middle Tennessee got off to that 21-0 lead. Your thoughts on that game?
Middle Tennessee is a great team. We went in there with a mindset that we're playing for a championship this year. And after that, the 6 minutes in the first half, and we're down 21-0. No one on the sideline, flinched. No one wanted to. Everyone was still up in their hopes. So we came back in the game. Credit goes to Middle Tennessee. We fought. We did a lot. Obviously, when we look at film, there's mistakes all the time, and we can correct that stuff. And right now, we're just looking forward to Western Kentucky because we still have the championship in our mindset.
Sure, and you guys are still bowl eligible.
Exactly.
Going back to that start, what do you think happened in that 21-0 hole that you guys got into? Because it seemed like you guys adjusted after that.
Middle Tennessee is a great offense. Whenever offensively we go 3 and out twice, I think that, and you put the ball into a powerful offense like Middle Tennessee. They're gonna take advantage of that, and I think that's what happened. I think our defense adjusted tremendously, and we came back and we fought. And it was a great game at the end.
What did you guys see as an offense that finally got it going for you guys? It got to a point where it was 28-28, and you guys fought back.
The first 2 drives, they started 3 and outs, but we were getting good push up the front, and a couple drop balls, messed us up. We had a couple first downs with a drop ball, but other than that, we stuck to our game plan. I think our coaches did a great time putting together a good game plan for us, and we executed it after that, and we put up 400, 500 yards of offense.
Yeah, you guys got the running game going again, 203 yards on the ground. Magoo threw for over 300. You guys were able to move the ball up and down. And the one stat that stuck out to me, and we noticed this after the first 6 minutes on radio, was that after the first 3 drives, Middle Tennessee had 209 total yards. The rest of the game, and this was the first 6 minutes of the game, the rest of the game, Middle only got 256 total yards. So the defense kind of stepped up.
Yeah, that's just I don't really know what they did on the defensive side, what adjustments they made, but honestly, they found something out, and the offense, they gave the ball back to the offense, and that's all, as an offense, that's all you want. You want to get the opportunity to go down and score. And I don't really know the stat, but I think every time we touched the ball, we pretty much went down there and we scored. We had a couple really long drives. We had like an 80-yard drive. We had two 70-yard drives, and we put together a good. We held the ball for nearly 40 minutes, and there's only 60 minutes in a game. So whenever you do that, you also help the defense. So they weren't on the field as much as they wanted to, and we were on there just controlling the game. And I think that was a big thing of us coming back and and tying up the game and having a chance to win with so little time in the fourth quarter.
Did someone at FIU not send a Christmas card to the Conference USA office last year? Because look at this gauntlet of a schedule that you guys have had. You've played La Tech, Middle Tennessee, and now you're going to Western Kentucky, arguably the 3 best teams in Conference USA. Have you seen film of Western Kentucky yet, or what can you tell me about Western Kentucky?
Yeah, I've seen a little bit of film on them. They're a good team as well. I mean, they're the same, if anything, better than Middle Tennessee. They have.
Yeah, you're getting 3 straight good offenses.
Exactly, explosive offenses is what you want. So I guess the game plan this week is going to be the same that we came in with Middle Tennessee. You want the offense to hold the ball as long as possible, keep the defense off, and yeah, that would be our mindset coming in. Just hold time of possession. We want them off the field and us on the field.
What have you seen from them defensively? Because it seems like Western Kentucky's strength defensively is their run defense. They only allow just 108 yards per game. And obviously for you guys, for the offense to be effective, you got to have a balance. And you guys have had that recently with the UTEP game, FAU, and now 200 yards last week against Middle on the ground.
I think the biggest thing that I've seen is on film is just communication within the offensive line. I think they do a lot of different things in the defensive line, moving, shifting before the snap, so that that can mess up the offensive line. I think the biggest part would be communication on the offensive line. So if we can get the right calls called in before the snap or when they're moving, we can get the right people on the right defensive players, and that's when you get big gains. And yeah, I mean, from what I've heard, the most rushing yards on them were from Alabama, and Alabama's a really
number
good
1 team in the country.
So.
Well, you're almost done at FIU academic-wise. You finish up a second degree?
Yes, sir.
What's the degree?
Sports and fitness is my second one.
And your thoughts after football's over? What do you want to do?
My biggest thing that I really want to get into is strength and conditioning. I would love, I just like being around athletes, and I think that since I've been in it for so long that I can maybe have something I can bring to the table to a program, playing for so long. But with my degree, I think that's possible. I can get into strength and conditioning. That's one thing that I really want to do.
You going to throw the shot put before you leave, or track career over?
He kind of asked me.
Used to throw track.
Yeah.
In case people didn't know.
He kind of asked me if I wanted to come back, but
He being Coach
Heberding,
okay.
the FIU, the head coach. He asked me if I wanted to come back for my last season. I think I'm going to put a little thought into that. Maybe come out and I still have the FIU record in the discus, so maybe I'll go and beat that again or something.
There you go. Go out with a bang.
Go out with a bang.
Okay. That's center Michael Montero. We'll be back next week and look over the Western Kentucky game and look ahead. Well, actually, it'll be a bye week. We'll look 2 weeks ahead to Marshall.